I am Evangeline.
And I'm Blair.
And today we are going to be talking about word count goals. So, sit along for the episode.
Yeah.
Greetings! We are aliens from planet Merp. Oh, wait, no. That was our other podcast. No, we're teen authors.
I'm Blair Wild, and my favorite animal is pigs.
I'm Evangeline Fox, and I'm actually a person.
No, but actually, we're high schoolers who like torturing ourselves by writing thousands of words each day. So we figured we'd torture you too.
You're listening to Wild Fox Writing, where we talk about everything writing, reading, and books. Enjoy!
Hello! Welcome to another episode. As I said, I'm Evangeline.
And I'm Blair.
And today we are going to be talking about word count goals. Why we did the intro, if we were just going to state it again, I don't know.
Whatever.
But anyway, word count goals. How exciting. Do you use word count goals often, Blair?
I do.
Me too.
Yeah. I make word count goals for my whole book to be a certain word count. How about you?
Yeah, I often only do 50,000 words at a time. And then I see where it goes because I rewrite things frequently. So often I have like 50,000 words of my first draft and then I start a new one.
Yeah.
So,
I make the whole books go anywhere from like 90,000 words to like 105,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, all my chapters are like 2,000 word chapters.
yeah.
Do you have like chapters?
I used to, but then I realized that it didn't really matter. I should just like stop.
True.
When it was a good stopping point. So, I mean, I don't often write chapters longer than 4 pages or shorter than 2, but it's like not a specific like word count associated with a chapter for me. But I do use word count goals frequently. I think the most popular word count goal is obviously NaNoWriMo in November, and a lot of authors will participate in that, but you can actually make word count goals throughout the year, and I guess we're just gonna talk about how they might be helpful or unhelpful and how to go about making them. So,
I think that word count goals can be very helpful because they can give you a sense of direction and how long you want your book to be and like how close you are to the end point. But I also think you can't fixate on them because if you fixate on them and are like always constantly checking your word count,
yeah,
it can like distract you.
Also, you have to think about what works for you because word count goals can be really motivating or it could be really stressful. I think they're good to create some sense of discipline for you because eventually if you want to go into writing you probably will have some sort of deadline. Don't know actually exactly how that works, but you'll probably run into deadlines sometime in your life and it's good to have a sense of what you need to do to accomplish that.
Yeah, I make deadlines for my books all the time. I'll change it, but I'll plan out, the next 10 years of when I'm making books by.
Yeah, I don't plan out when I'm supposed to be finished. I mean, I try to. I was sort of supposed to be finished with this book by the end of December, but we don't talk about that because I have a lot of really good excuses for why I didn't do that. Namely, I didn't want to.
Yeah, that's the best. That's a really valid reason.
It is. It's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd agree with that.
So, yeah, they can be really helpful to set up deadlines, but maybe we should talk about when they might not work out.
Well, I don't know, because I just make them all the time.
Yeah.
And then I fail them, and then I change them.
For me, they are really helpful for me, but if you get really stressed, I could see how it could become sort of, uninspiring to be forced into, a rigid schedule, and, burning out is a really real thing when you're in a creative industry. So you should have some discipline, but it's kind of tricky because you need to walk the line of having enough discipline to finish something but not push yourself to the limit and burn out. And I think Blair, you also
I did that, yeah.
But, yeah.
I also think it can be very intimidating, especially if you're making a word count goal of, like, the whole book and you're just starting. Like, looking at that, like, you have, 100,000 words to write still. That can be very intimidating. But if you're looking, you could, like, just look at, like, the next 20,000 words or something like that. And have that as your goal instead, so that, I don't know, it's like breaking it up in smaller pieces.
Yeah. I think that is what makes word count goal helpful, but you should discover your limits and know not to, like, push yourself too far.
Also, if you make, like, word count goals each day, you should, first of all, give yourself room to procrastinate a lot.
Yeah.
But also, if you, like, figure out how fast you write, you can figure out, like, how many words you can write in an hour with some distractions and stuff. Because, like, I don't know, I say I can write, like, 3,000 words an hour.
Yeah. I can write somewhere between 65 and 70 words per minute with no distractions. So with distractions, it's probably more like 50, 60 words per minute. So taking that into account, I can kind of, like, figure out how many words I should be able to write in an hour. But some days I have more time for writing than others, and that really depends on, like, my school workload. Like, do I have a bunch of tests coming up I need to prepare for? And honestly, you just can't be, like, too hard on yourself about it, because sometimes you're going to miss your goals and sometimes you're going to reach them. And it's all a learning process.
And then if you fail your word count goal one day, first of all, it doesn't really matter. No one else even knows.
Yeah.
So it's just for yourself. But also, then it gives you more motivation than just make it up the next time.
Yeah.
Do good the next day, and you're all
And if
good.
you become a more, like, serious author, it's not really what I'm looking for, but I think you get the point. You probably will have to be more rigid with deadlines, word count goals, etc. But especially when you're just starting out, it doesn't make much sense to push yourself to your limits right away, because you're still learning. So you gotta kind of just be forgiving with yourself, because you're not gonna get it all right the first time.
I also have a tip that I don't do but should do and think I should start to do, so I'm going to give it to you guys. You could try, like, you write a certain amount of words every single day, but you can make it like, I'm just going to write 100 words each day. So then you just have to write, like, a paragraph each day, you know?
Yeah.
And then that can get you into writing, or you're just, it's time for me to go to bed, but I haven't written today, so I'm just going to write one paragraph and
Yeah. I think it's important to point out that everyone has something that works a bit different, because everyone has a brain that works a bit different. So I know the majority of authors would tell you that you have to write every day and you have to reach a certain number of words every day, even if they're bad, to just, like, get yourself in the habit and create discipline. But maybe that doesn't work for you, and maybe something else does. So it's all really what works for you, because writing is not the same for every single person. I know Blair and I have very different writing techniques, and I mean, we're
still get
even... Yeah.
I mean, you still get the same stuff done.
Yeah.
Just different time and different ways.
Yeah. So really, everyone is a little bit different, and if what works for even the majority of people doesn't work for you, then you just have to do something that works for you.
And, like, everyone's life is different, so you might be really, really busy.
Yeah.
And word count goals might just add extra stress, and maybe you don't want to, or you just simply don't have time to do that. Like, you know, it's different for all of us.
And if word count goals suck the joy out of writing for you, then don't use them, because writing shouldn't, like, feel like something you absolutely have to do. Or else, why would you want to become a writer? Because there's a lot of other jobs out there. But,
and then, on the other hand, if making a billion goals that are impossible is fun, like it is for me, then go ahead.
Yeah. So, word count goals, in summary, if they're helpful, use them. If they're not helpful, don't. I would definitely recommend setting a reasonable word count goal for yourself. Maybe seeing how much you could write in a month, a week, a year, a day, etc. And see what works for you. And if it's helpful, use it. If it's not helpful, don't.
Yeah. I would definitely recommend, like, every writer try it.
Yeah.
Because you'll never know if you don't try it.
Like, I'd recommend every writer to try plotting, even if you're going to end up not plotting for the rest of your career. But I think that is all I have to say for today.
Yeah,
Do you have anything else to add?
I think that's all.
Well, shorter episode today, guys. We'll see you next week. And
Thank you. Bye.
have a great week.